I'm sure you've heard the news. Some whiskeys are straight-up highway robbery. It's almost impossible to walk into a liquor store these days without being bombarded by bottles with price tags that make your jaw drop. You see those numbers and wonder, is there gold in this bottle? Or am I just paying for a fancy label? The whiskey world has changed a lot in the last decade, and not always for the better. What used to be a humble drink for the working class has, in some cases, become a playground for collectors, investors, and hype beasts. Prices are through the roof, and half the time, you're buying hype, not flavor. It's like the sneaker game, but with booze, limited releases, secondary markets, and people lining up for hours just to snag a bottle they might not even open. The truth is, a lot of these so-called must-have whiskeys are more about status than substance. You're not just paying for what's inside the bottle, you're paying for the story, the scarcity, and the Instagram likes. And let's be honest, sometimes the taste just doesn't live up to the legend. Let's separate the sizzle from the actual steak. Alright, whiskey lovers. Let's cut through the marketing smoke. It's time to get real about what's actually worth your hard-earned cash and what's just a shiny distraction. Because at the end of the day, whiskey is meant to be enjoyed, not worshipped on a pedestal or locked away in a safe. Whether you're a seasoned sipper or just getting started, you deserve to know which bottles are worth the splurge and which ones are just robbing you blind. Pappy Van Winkle. It's become more status symbol than bourbon. Sure, it's tasty, but for the price of a used car? Nah. Let's be real. Pappy is good, but it's not sell your kidney good. The hype around Pappy has reached such ridiculous levels that people are paying thousands just to say they own a bottle. But if you blind taste it next to some other well-made bourbons, you might be surprised at how close the competition really is. The myth has outgrown the reality, and unless you're a collector looking to flex, you're better off spending your money elsewhere. Macallan's fancy bottles? Mostly you're paying for the label, not magic. Don't get me wrong, Macallan makes some solid scotch, but the price tags on their limited editions and special releases are often more about prestige than palate. The packaging is gorgeous, the marketing is slick. But when you break it down, there are plenty of other single malts that deliver just as much flavor for a fraction of the cost. If you're buying Macallan for the experience, that's one thing. But if you're chasing pure value, look elsewhere. Blantons? Great if you like hunting bottles more than drinking them. The chase for Blantons has become a sport in itself, with people driving from store to store, hoping to get lucky. And yes, it's a good bourbon, smooth, sweet, and easy to sip. But is it worth the time, effort, and inflated prices on the secondary market? Not really. There are plenty of bourbons out there that are just as enjoyable and way easier to find. Don't let the FOMO get to you. Weller, Eagle Rare, even Johnny Walker Blue, decent pours, but not worth selling a kidney. Weller and Eagle Rare have both ridden the wave of bourbon mania, and while they're solid choices, the prices have gotten out of hand. Johnny Walker Blue, meanwhile, is the classic impress your boss bottle. Smooth, sure, but you're mostly paying for the name and the box it comes in. There are so many other whiskeys that deliver more character and complexity for a lot less money. Now, let's flip it. Let's talk about the bottles that actually deserve a spot on your shelf. The ones that deliver real value, real flavor, and real satisfaction. These are the whiskeys that don't need a hype machine behind them, because the liquid speaks for itself. You want real bang for your buck? Grab a Russell's Reserve Single Barrel, rich, spicy, legit flavor. This bourbon is a masterclass in balance and depth, with layers of caramel, vanilla, and baking spice that keep you coming back for more. It's crafted by the legendary Wild Turkey team, and it consistently punches above its weight. Whether you're sipping it neat or mixing it into an old-fashioned, Russell's Reserve Single Barrel delivers every time, and you won't have to empty your wallet to enjoy it. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof brings the heat and depth, no hype tax. This is a bourbon for people who want big, bold flavors and aren't afraid of a little kick. Each batch is uncut and unfiltered, so you get all the intensity straight from the barrel. It's a favorite among whiskey geeks for a reason. The complexity, the richness, the sheer power of the pour. And the best part? It's still reasonably priced, especially compared to some of the so-called unicorns out there. Old Forester 1920, toasty, bold, and always delivers. This bottle is part of the Whiskey Row series, and it's a nod to the Prohibition era, when Old Forester was one of the few distilleries allowed to keep making whiskey for medicinal purposes. The 1920 packs a punch with its higher proof, but it's also incredibly smooth, with notes of dark chocolate, caramel, and roasted nuts. It's a crowd pleaser that works for both newbies and seasoned sippers, and it's almost always available at a fair price. For rye, Sagamore Spirit or Rieger's, spicy and balanced, easy on the wallet. Rye whiskey has been making a big comeback, and these two brands are leading the charge. Sagamore Spirit brings a Maryland-style rye that's approachable yet full of character, with a nice balance of spice and sweetness. Rieger's, on the other hand, offers a bold, peppery profile that's perfect for cocktails or sipping neat. Both are affordable, widely available, and proof that you don't have to spend a fortune to enjoy great rye. And Buffalo Trace? Still the king of value. This bourbon is the workhorse of the whiskey world. Reliable, flavorful, and priced, so you can actually enjoy it without feeling guilty. It's got everything you want in a classic bourbon: vanilla, caramel, a hint of spice, and a smooth finish. Whether you're stocking your home bar or looking for a gift, Buffalo Trace is always a smart pick. Don't let shiny bottles scam you. The whiskey industry is full of marketing tricks, limited editions, fancy packaging, celebrity endorsements. But at the end of the day, what matters is what's in the glass. Don't get distracted by the glitz and glamour. Trust your palate, not the hype. The best whiskey is the one you actually enjoy drinking, not the one that looks best on your shelf or racks up the most likes on social media. Next time, skip the unicorn chase. Grab the bottles that actually bring the damn. This is good. There's a whole world of underrated whiskeys out there just waiting to be discovered. Don't be afraid to try something new, to go off the beaten path, to trust your own taste buds. You might just find your new favorite pour in a bottle you've never heard of, at a price that makes you smile instead of wince. Your taste buds and your bank account will thank you. At the end of the day, whiskey is about enjoyment, not ego. It's about sharing good times with friends, discovering new flavors, and savoring the moment. So don't get caught up in the hype. Drink what you love what you drink, and remember, the best whiskey isn't always the most expensive one. Cheers to finding value, flavor, and a little bit of rebellion in every glass.